Hello and welcome to another video on Vertello. I'm Robert-Jan Broer, this is Gerard Nijenbrinks. Today we have a very special Grand Seiko watch. It's a limited edition. It's a collaboration between Timeless. Timeless is a retailer in the US, in Texas. And for this retailer, Grand Seiko made 250 watches. Stainless steel, 41mm watch with a spring drive movement. And not only that, it also has a GMT complication, so you can read an extra time zone. Like most other spring drive movements, it also has a power reserve indicator on the dial. It has a power reserve of 72 hours. Gerard will explain something about the spring drive movement later on. This watch looks very similar to the Snowflake, with the beautiful and famous Snowflake dial. This one has I think a snow-related dial. They call it the Blizzard, and it reminds of the blizzards in Japan, near the manufacture where these watches are being made in-house. The dial is beautiful. It almost looks like it has this platinum grain in there. The applied numerals, the hands, everything has been Zaratsu polished. This polishing technique, it's a mirror blade polishing technique that's done by Grand Seiko, like only they can do, basically. It's all done by hand. On the back side of the watch, you will find a display back with a sapphire crystal. There you will see the Grand Seiko logo with the blue lion. It's probably laser engraved. It says limited edition. On the steel part of the case back, you will see an engraved number, which is the unique number of your version. Through the sapphire case back, you will see the beautifully finished Grand Seiko spring drive movement. You'll see the glide wheel turning really fast, and you see the beautiful striped finish on the rotor. It's a quite nice movement to look at. As said, this watch is very similar to the famous and very popular Snowflake model. This one has one advantage, at least for me, because I don't fancy titanium timepieces in general, and the Snowflake has a titanium case and bracelet. This one has a steel case, steel bracelet, also with the Zaratsu polishing on the edges and on the bracelet. It's beautifully done. It has a folding clasp, of course, with the release buttons, and on the dial you will see, we'll show it on a close-up. Here we can see your Reho with the 24-hour indicator, or the scale, where the GMT hand points at. The GMT hand is blued, the seconds hand as well, and the small power reserve indicator as well. So there are a few elements of blue on there. There's no mention of Timeless on the watch, but it is it's a collaboration with the retailer from Texas, US. This watch has a list price of $5,900 US. It can be ordered through timelessluxwatches.com, and I'm quite amazed that it's $5,900 US. I think it's a very
interesting price.
Very interesting price range. Yeah. I think it's compared to the prices in Europe, I think the US is a bit more in advantage.
Yeah, it'll be
a few hundred,
slightly less in euros, but then there will be more taxes in,
true.
In Europe.
That's true. I don't know if Timeless Lux watches will ship to outside the US. I'm not sure. Perhaps they won't. But you can check on the website if they will do.
Does it has a screw-down crown?
It has a screw-down crown, indeed. Yeah. So the water resistance is 100 meters, or 10 bars, and so you do basically everything you do with the crown. There are no extra pushers for the date, or everything is set through the crown. Gerard, can you tell us a bit about the spring drive movement?
Yeah, briefly. The nice thing about the spring drive movement is, of course, its accuracy. But as well, it is a mechanical movement. Although the accuracy is controlled by a quartz crystal, the power of the movement is all generated mechanically. So there is a mainspring which is wound by the automatic winding system of the watch, and this mainspring makes the glide wheel rotate. The glide wheel running at a speed of 8 revolutions per second. So that's indeed at a quite.
It's
high,
very fast.
It's a very high speed. This glide wheel is electromagnetically braked to get this exact 8 revolutions per second, and this braking will give the electric power which is required by the quartz crystal in the integrated circuit to operate. So it's a totally autonomous system, all mechanically powered. So no battery power, no capacitor, no nothing. It's all done directly from the mainspring of the watch.
Yeah. Despite what some people think, there's no battery. There's no. The energy is directly consumed by the movement.
Yeah.
There's no battery inside. Yeah. Of course, for the power reserve, there's the mainspring that's being wound, which gives you the 72 hours. And I think what most people love about the spring drive is the sweep of the central seconds hand.
Yeah,
it's super smooth.
Very smooth. Yeah.
It's like these electronic clocks you had, where you had a very smooth sweep of the second hand. Yeah. Perhaps you have read it on Fratello. Last year I bought my first Grand Seiko GMT with a high beat movement. So that already has a very smooth sweep compared to the lower beat movements, but there's nothing compared to this spring drive.
Nice thing as well about this spring drive GMT movement, as we see with other GMT movements from Grand Seiko as well, is that you're able to set the hour hand of the regular time, so not a 24-hour hand, but the hour hand of the regular time, separately and directly from the movement. So you can easily quick set 1 hour in advance, a few hours back or forth, without disturbing the general time of.
You switch the hour hand with one pull of the crown. You only do the hour hand, pull it again, and
And that as well is how you quick set the date. So there's not a separate.
It's no quick set. There's no quick set date except for you have to turn the hour
only
hand.
the hour hand, which is very quickly because
you see this with more movements these days. It's quite popular system of setting the time on your watch, and perhaps use it if you're traveling. You can easily correct it.
The local time.
250 pieces. I don't think that's very much, to be honest.
No.
I don't know the total production of Grand Seiko. I think a few years ago they told me in Japan it was around 40 or 50,000. At that time, most of the Grand Seiko watches stayed in Japan or in Asia, and I think now you'll see it becomes more and more popular. I think especially in the US they're doing quite well, from what I heard from some retailers and from Grand Seiko themselves. I guess that Timeless, they are Grand Seiko retailer among other brands. They also do pre-owned watches, and sometimes they do a limited edition or special edition with a brand. And in this case, it's Grand Seiko, and I think they did a beautiful job at this Blizzard dial GMT with spring drive. Absolutely. I think it's a very nice traveler's watch. Basically, if you travel a lot through different time zones, it's super useful. It's easy to set. You have a lot of power reserve. You don't have to worry about your watch basically, and and it's very accurate. With the spring drive, the accuracy that Grand Seiko promises is like a second a day on average deviation. That's amazing. As always, the Grand Seiko comes on a beautiful bracelet, stainless steel bracelet. The style is not, it fits the watch really well. It has the Zaratsu polishing, as said before. It has the polished links in between. It's not super easy to adjust. Oh. But it's done by screws. But yeah, your Grand Seiko retailer, yeah, they can do this for you. And if you wanted to do it yourself, be very careful. Use Scotch tape at least to protect the links. But it's a very well done bracelet, and it's very comfortable. And with the release buttons, it's locked tight on your wrist. So for this video, we have been taking a look at the SBGE249. It's a limited edition for Timeless, the watch retailer in Pano, Texas, and yeah, it's online there now. It's for sale, so you can order it through timelessluxwatches.com. Thank you.